Yo, this is Christian, and today I want to talk about something that just came through my mind. As always, my editor hates me because these videos are totally unplanned and unscripted. And today I want to talk about momentum, building momentum. And probably you've heard about this word before, but I want to explain to you how it manifests. So, momentum. Probably you noticed that when you started learning code, it was very difficult for you to pick it up, right? It's like when you are, do you know one of those contests, the strongman contest, where you have to pull one big truck that's like 50 tons or something like that? I don't know how heavy it is, but it's like really, really heavy. The most difficult part is making that truck move, right? After it's in motion, it stays in motion, you know? That's like the first law of Newton or some other guy. What is in motion stays in motion. So getting something to move, it's really difficult. When you first started, it was very difficult for you to actually do something with it. But then you've done the hard part, you managed to understand some of the things with JavaScript and with programming in general, but then you got stuck. I'm gonna explain to you why you got stuck. So many people have this idea that you just have to be consistent and things will happen somehow, okay? For the most part, it's true. You just have to be consistent, but writing code is not like grinding coffee, and it's not like a repetitive task. It's a task where you have to actually think about the things that you are making, okay? So the next important thing besides consistency, which is 60% of the mindset that you should have, the other part is intensity, okay? So intensity and intent, okay? When you show up, you have to give it your all, 125%, okay? If you half-ass things, you're not gonna get anything out of anything. Especially with programming, you cannot cheat programming. Now, if you do minimum work, you're gonna get minimum wage, okay? Minimum work, minimum wage. That's something that you should write down right now. And after you write it down, like this video, okay? So you have to be intense. Also, you have to be intentful. That's the reason why so many people are stuck for years, right? Not getting anywhere. Not because they are not consistent, because they are consistent. If you've been doing this for 2-3 years and you're not having a dev job yet, that means you are not intentful. Okay, so many times I invited you to work with me or to jump in the Facebook group at least to get some information from there, but you're not doing that. You are still looking for quick fixes, you know. Videos like 5 projects that every beginner JavaScript developer should make, or Amazon clone for beginners in React.js, or Twitter clone for something else, okay? Those things are quick fixes. That's why those videos are 8 hours, or that's why those Udemy courses that you probably are buying are 40 hours. Simple as that. Or if you go to a bootcamp and you work on an application for 2 weeks, let's say maximum with 5 other people, that's it. That's a quick fix. You're not getting experience from that. Everything you have been doing, it's a quick fix. Why? Because you don't know what has to be done, okay? And the way people are learning programming and the way people are teaching programming is totally outdated and it doesn't work anymore. I just got the new MacBook Pro and I was looking at the screen and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I have the 16-inch MacBook Pro from last year, which is like twice as much money as this one, probably, and it feels outdated. And I'm wondering right now, how can people still use that? And the same way, I'm wondering how can people still learn programming the way I used to do it in 2015 when I was struggling. And now people are struggling even more because as my MacBook evolved and it has better technology right now, the technology that we are using right now, it's even more complicated and even more matured. And it's gonna keep growing exponentially and it's gonna become even more difficult to get into the industry. As time goes on, the barriers for juniors will go higher and higher and higher and higher, to the point where it's gonna be probably extremely difficult to even get in. Okay, so if you are still wondering what you should do, you should start working with me right now, because you need to understand that the more you wait, the more difficult it's gonna be. The more you have to use your motivation muscle to stay on track with everything. Consistency, yeah, let's be consistent. But for how long can you be consistent? For 20 years until you're gonna get that dev job? Probably the JavaScript programmer title won't even be a thing anymore in a few years. So consistency, intent, intensity, These things will do wonders for you, but you have to act now. The more you think about it, the more money you lose. If you're making 50 grand a year and you're aiming for 65 grand per year, let's say, just throwing in some numbers, every month where you're not a developer, you are losing $1.1 thousand, something like that. If you are making 40 grand and you want to get 80 grand, which is still a fair amount for a junior developer, you are losing how much? Almost $3.6 thousand per month. So being self-taught or finishing a coding bootcamp still means that you are losing money every single month and every single day. You should learn how to look at the cost of opportunity for not being where you have to be. So that's it. This is the video for today, a bit of a random video. Maybe it's gonna help you do the right thing. There is a link in the description to work with me. There is a link in the description to join my free Facebook group where I'm going live there and I'm answering web dev questions. I'm reviewing your portfolio. Feel free to come in. It's gonna be pretty cool. You'll see a lot of things that will change your perspective on how web dev works and what should you expect from this career. Until next time, Christian.